Back in 1995, I was a helicopter pilot and I had the privilege to take my grandfather flying over the Lake District. We passed over Honister Slate mine and looking down, my grandfather said, "Why is it closed?" That got my grey matter thinking a little bit and I thought, well, why is it closed? There was all these roads, quarries and all this industry and it had just ceased. It seemed to be overnight. I gave it some thought and I found out who actually owned it. It was McAlpine's. I rang them up and we agreed to meet in a Manchester hotel. The meeting took 45 minutes, the first ever meeting I had with them, and we shook hands on a deal. I came back up the motorway that day and I thought, what have I done? Can you imagine telling your friends and relatives that you've just bought a mine but you have no experience whatsoever in running a mine? I came back up and told them I had everything to mortgage and to get started again. I had a bank manager to get on side. I had the health and safety executive to let me away with explosives. It has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. You visiting this mine today has actually supported a local industry. It employs local people for a future for them. Thank you very much.
In 1948, when I was 5 years old, Borrowdale was actually knitted together by Honister Slate mine. Most of the men who lived in Borrowdale actually worked at Honister. And so it was a wonderful, close-knit community. The children going to the Borrowdale school, all the fathers were working at Honister Slate mine. It was a huge mining community. The Honister wagon used to come along from Keswick, picking all the miners up on the way. It got to Mountain View, where we lived, at 7:30, and they all had to be here and ready for work at 8 o'clock. There was a siren went off, and some of the men who were making the slates, they would light a pipe, they'd sit on their little stools, and they would have the hammer raised and the chisel ready, and they would not hit a blow until the siren went off. And the men working in the mine, in actual fact, 4:30 they were allowed to come out of the mines to get down to the buildings down below for 5 o'clock, ready to go on the wagon back home again. That was amazing, isn't it? Our slate from Honister would last you between 300 to 400 years. The Welsh slate, approximately 100. The Spanish slate, 25 years. So there's a huge difference in slate. If you want the best, it's here, right inside Honister Slate mine. And you're going to get to go and see the best slate in the world.
Here comes Johnny singing gold is golden. We Babalula, baby, what I say. Here comes Johnny singing I got a woman down in the tunnel trying to make it pay. He got the action, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. Dedication, devotion, turning on the nighttime into the day. It's all about a sweet love and love.
Right then folks, we now have to focus on health and safety. When you're in the mine, please keep together. No one leaves the tour once we've started. And please ensure that the lamps and the helmets stay on your head. You're going to be wearing one of these. And this adjusts just by sliding that little button at the back to the sides of your head. They fit most heads. But for the children, we have a smaller version which adjusts by turning this knob at the back here, left and right, to make it bigger and smaller. And that will definitely fit the heads of most children. When we're in the mine, if there are any problems, please ensure you talk directly to the tour guide before any action is taken. Thank you.